Reasoning can survive only till when you attaches yourself to your body and mind fully, and when you will start practicing non-attachment, the new wisdom will start manifesting, and that is discrimination, what is real, what is not real. So your stress level will go down. You will see, okay, this is a difficult situation, but this is not permanent. That is how the discrimination go. This is not permanent state. This will also disappear. It is for a day. Why should I be so worried? Next day will come. Like this, initially, the discrimination will start setting into your mind. And slowly, slowly, as more and more discrimination, as more and more your mind moves from the field of reason to the field of discrimination, more and more bliss will start pouring in. And when the bliss will come, we will not move back to the reasoning field. Who wants to go back to the miseries and sufferings? Then the inner bliss, internal bliss you will be feeling. Initially, once or twice in a day, suddenly you will be filled with the bliss. You won't know from where it is coming, but you will be happy suddenly. Well, this is your nature. This is the nature of the operator. Operator, the Atman, the soul is made up of the bliss only. This whole creation is made up of the particles of bliss only. Only this machine, body-mind complex, because it is a learning to the operator, that's why it has been designed in such a way that it stops, it hinders the feeling of the bliss. And it is necessary for the growth of the operator. It is necessary for the growth of the soul. If problems are not there, if miseries are not there, you will never think of moving away from them. That's why problems are there. There is a utility of that also. That you will realize only when you start having the bliss, then you will be giving thanks to all the problems. Because of these problems, I moved away from them. So this discrimination setting in the same ratio, the bliss will be entering in you. And when bliss will be full, you will be fully filled with the bliss. The sense of ego, the sense of doership will diminish slowly and slowly. There will come a stage of only sense of presence, that is called Sampragyat Samadhi.
If we take an example of goal-oriented person, like suppose a corporate or ambitious person, so in order to achieve that goal, he has to be attached with, think about it or work towards that goal. How do I ask that person not to get attached with that goal and still work towards the success?
Yeah, this is a very fundamental question. And whenever you study Gita and when Krishna says don't get attached to the result, this question come up at that time also. If you are not attached to the result, how will you be working? Because we are working with this old operating system, mind. There is only this way known to it. There is no other way. For this mind, present mind. Because machine is working, so it knows only this way. When you transform reasoning to the discrimination and filling yourself with the bliss, then what will happen? You will achieve that goal more easily Because you are full of bliss. Isn't our experience that if we are happy, and in that moment if we perform something, we do it more easily and result come more easily. If we are stressed up, then the results seem little distant, but someday, somehow, suddenly we are very happy because of any reason, then we perform better. Is it our experience or not? If we are happy, our performance increases. If somebody praises us, you are doing very nicely, you perform better. Right? In the office, in the workplace, even in the family, if you every day say you are not doing well to someone, the person you will see that the efficiency of work of that person will decrease, or the person may react, and in the reaction the person will not be doing the right work which he is capable of doing. But if you start praising, then a person of a small capacity can do better work. What is this? He has been filled with the happiness. A little happiness has been given to him. Sense of insecurity has been removed a bit. What sense of insecurity? That after the work, after the task, I may get criticism. But if you have got praise in beginning, and that sense of insecurity has gone, so you are more free now. These techniques are being used in the management of corporates. These techniques are being taught in the IIMs, in the big management schools, that you don't pressurize them. But most of us work through the old pattern, old system. So we give them targets, goals, pressure. So they achieve, but they suffer. And after achievement also they don't enjoy, because next moment they are given the another target. One target finished, another target is there, everyday target is there.
But isn't that the reality of the corporate world, because it's so target oriented?
Yeah, this is. So you cannot change the corporate world, but you can transform your consciousness. If you practice yoga, if you practice non-attachment, you will see that you work for the sake of work. You start enjoying the work. Or rather, I should say, this is the intermediate stage. When you enjoy working, as you are filled with the bliss, you will be spreading bliss through your work. That will be the stage. That will happen. See, why we want to achieve one target? Because we want to gain happiness or something. Ultimately, happiness. Everything is done to gain the happiness. Whether money, position, name, fame. Okay? Ultimately, what you want is happiness through that. If you have that in very beginning, your reasoning mind has changed into discriminatory mind, and then the bliss is pouring in, so you are filled with the happiness. Now there is a task to accomplish. You are working in a corporate. So you will be more relaxed, more happy. Your way of expression will be so impressive. Your communication skills will go up. Your working will be so systematic, because you are in the bliss, and you will achieve more. You will achieve target more easily. It is not that you will not be achieving. You will achieve more easily.
But sometimes there are also obstacles, like other people around you also
Of course.
put obstacles.
Of course.
How do you deal with that?
Oh, they will be putting, but you are having now a higher software installed as compared to them. So you will be tackling with them. Okay, let's take an example of Dr. H.R. Nagendra ji. He is running an university. Okay, running university is not an easy task. 1,000 students are there, faculties are there, many interaction with the governments are needed. And I have seen other owners of the university and colleges, they are full of stress. They are also achieving targets but paying a huge cost, suffering from diabetes, suffering from this psychosomatic disorder they have generated, developed in the process. They are achieving, they are very goal oriented. Naginji is also very goal oriented. He also reaches in time. He keep all the commitments. He works rather more than them, 18 hours daily. But he is operating from bliss level. So his progress is tremendous. His success is tremendous. And there is no stress on his nervous system. That is the bonus. Because he is living yoga life. He has transformed his old mind with the new one. That has stabilized in him. So there are obstacles, there are tricks, there are opponents also there. Lots of conspiracies are there. But because he is sitting here and the conspirator's mind is here, so he sees immediately what conspiracy is being done. Once you are in the bliss, your awareness will increase. You can immediately sense what is going on in others' mind, what they are doing. Accordingly, you can very easily act. See, Krishna also fought a war. He was the incarnation having altogether very advanced software installed in his body, the higher mind. But he faced every trouble, but he was never unhappy. He did everything with bliss because he reached to that level. All these questions come when we are operating from the old mind. At present we are operating with the old mind, and this is a genuine question. If we are working at this level and we want solution at this level also only, it's not possible. If you want solution, you have to rise up. You cannot get solution here. It is a limited circle in which you may go on trying whole life, you will never get the solution. One technique can give you little leverage, then it will fail. Another, that will also fail. Then you will come to the conclusion, this life is full of miseries. It can never be complete happiness, or it is both 50-50%. It is not so. It is because we are working through some lower mind, old mind, and there are minds, range of mind is available. So at least we should rise little bit higher. The immediate mind which is available is the higher mind, which is free from dukh, free from worldly, what we call the momentary happiness. It is filled with the bliss, more lasting, long lasting. So this is called the samadhi, sampragyat samadhi. So this is the aim of the yoga. But Patanjali says in this sampragyat samadhi also, seeds remain, the impressions remain. Every moment we are receiving the impressions, and those impressions are getting stored in us, they are there. So if you die in this state of having achieved the sampragyat samadhi, in which your mind from reason has transferred into the discriminating mind, and reach to the level of bliss and unqualified egoism, that only sense of presence is there. If you die in that state, in next life, you may born as a Siddha yogi, but you are not free. Because impressions are there and their result you are bound to face. But you can face as a detached person, but results will come up. So there is another higher samadhi which is called Nirvij Samadhi. This is called Sabij Samadhi, super consciousness with the seeds of the impressions stored. And there is another Samadhi which is super consciousness, seedless super consciousness. The aim is to achieve the Nirvij Samadhi. Yoga is aiming at complete freedom. See, the soul has been given a body, not only given a body, in fact, soul has been covered in the 5 sheaths of the body, Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, Anandamaya Kosha. These are the coverings around the soul. Okay. Now to free from these coverings, soul has to first rise from Manomaya Kosha to Vijnanamaya Kosha, then to the Anandamaya Kosha, then finally moving out the Anandamaya Kosha. That is complete freedom. So seeds are there. In all, till it is in this circle of Panchakosha, sanskaras, impressions are there. When all the impressions are finished, then the soul, the operator, now is in no need of any body. It has its own divine body. It becomes almost like God, very near to the God. That soul may even create universes if the Almighty wishes through him, or that soul may come down as incarnation. This is the freedom it has. Or it may rest in his own plane of consciousness, do any work. That is the ultimate freedom. This is the infinite creation. Infinite grandeur is there. What we are seeing is only a small part of that. This whole physical universe, which looks so amazing, so full of miracles, so beautiful, is only one frequency which we are able to see. One wavelength which we are able to recognize. I think we need 5 minutes break. I normally forget this break. It's around 2 hours I think we talked. Okay. So 5-10 minutes break. Okay.
Should be I in the other room because the way I put the picture.
नहीं लर्न कर सकते हैं पर मुझे आप लोग
I wanted to remove